Hi, welcome back to another of my videos. This time it's nothing to do with COVID or depressing stories. I thought I'd speak to you guys about the country that we live in, India, and very frankly, uh, living a life with our daily rigmaroles of duties bound to our jobs and our homes actually do not make us think about the country that we stay in. But you must wonder that in this world today, I think there are probably no other countries where you have people of all faiths and communities and religions and castes and creeds and colors staying within the same boundary. And we've been existing and coexisting like this for at least, I don't know, for centuries now. Ever since the Mughals came in the 14th and probably 13th century, we've had the Britishers coming in, and we've also had Portuguese landing up on the shores in south of India, and each of them have left. We had the Parsis landing on the coast of Gujarat. So by history, we've had a lot of visitors, we've had a lot of invaders, and each visitor or invader left an imprint and went back. So we in our country have the influence of British culture, British architecture. We also have a lot of Muslim culture and architecture. We have Parsi presence in this country. We also have Jews in pockets of this country, from Bombay to Kochi and other places. So if you actually see, it's an amazing country that we're living in, So you have Hindus, it's supposed to be Hindustan, but this is supposed to be a sovereign state where you have people of all religion. I'm not getting into any political related talks here because that gets into controversy. But if you see on the brighter side, this country is actually an amazing country. I have so many friends of all faiths, from all faiths, who are friends, and we do not see a distinction between each other because of the basis of our religion or our origin. Neither do we see people by their caste. But the caste system is actually a very negative part of our culture and society in India because it was created by, let's say, the Brahmanans of the Hindu religion, who subjugated individuals based on their caste, which made no sense because a person does not get to choose his caste at birth, and it makes no sense. But that was one negative part of our country. But if you see in general, this is a wonderful country, and if you, for example, take the example of the Northeast, which most people from the mainland India do not take cognizance of as a part of India. Sadly, that is true because I belong to that part of the country. But even if you consider the Northeast, each and every state there, let's say within a boundary of 50 kilometers and onwards, you will have different dialects which none of you will be able to understand. Even the neighbors there don't understand. And it has got so many cultures and traditions, foods and cuisines and clothing styles, lifestyles. It's so varying in nature, and it is awesome and amazing. So this is actually one country where you have this enormous, what do you say, a fraternity of people living within the same boundary, and we've been existing and coexisting pretty well. I am sure if there were no political interferences in our cultures, then we would have not had these upheavals which keep happening once in a while from time to time for baseless reasons, which I feel are absolutely stupid and nonsensical. However, leaving that aside, we do have a country. If you start from the north, the Jammu and Kashmir region, to right down south to, let's say again, the same Kanyakumari, or for that matter from the west in Gujarat to the east and the northeast and the borders of Nagaland or Mizoram or even Arunachal, there are, I think, over, I'm not sure about the statistics, but we have officially more than 22 languages, with each having their own alphabets. And then we have over 500 dialects in this country, which is such a phenomenal thing that I don't think any other country has. So when we have our expats visiting us for work and we accompany them, let's say from Delhi, and go down to the south, if you'll actually see, the expat and me are on the same plane. I being from India, he being from abroad. But when we go to a third place within India on a common visit, business trip, he and me do not know the local languages. We don't know much about the local cultures, and we are both like foreigners to that place. And that is the intricate and interesting part of this country, which is actually something we should all ponder about. And there have been a lot of books and a lot of research done about this, and we still live in a very nice, congenial ambience and atmosphere across the country. Keeping aside again the political part, which is what screws up most of the things from time to time. 2020 beginning, we witnessed this Shaheen Bagh episode, the NRC episodes. We're not getting into all that. Those are the negatives of the country. But if you see in general, in totality, we have an excellent country that we stay in and live in. And there is a respect for, and I'm talking this from an average Indian like me, who has had a modern upbringing and have grown up and studied in a modern atmosphere in schooling. And my outlook is such that I generally learn to appreciate all religions and all communities and people, their foods, and just about anything that we have in this country. So it's awesome. And the mindset in India is changing, has changed, and will keep changing. We will get more and more let's say forward thinking. We have a considerable part of our culture or society which is still deep trenched into old thoughts. So we have still issues of intercaste marriages or inter-religion based issues which exist, which I think is normal to exist, because that's how humans are born to evolve and stay. But we've had a fantastic and phenomenal time during all these years, and I think we actually ought to show more of ourselves to the global community. People are already the brains working behind great projects across the world. NASA is almost predominant with the Indian scientists, and we have a lot of this large-sized IT companies whose global CEOs are Indians. We have so many people from the Indian diaspora working at very prominent places all across. The latest being Kamala Harris, who's now going to be the vice president elect in the USA. She has some Indian origin in her. So if you see, there is some part of India in every part of the globe, and that is just such a wonderful thought to be, and I think we should all be proud of that and continue to strive to show our country in a better light. And each one of us should be ambassadors of the country to wherever we visit and go, and whoever we interact with over in person or on the virtual platforms, that we must show them the metal that we are made of, and should be really proud of that. What do you say? Don't you think that is true? I feel that's absolutely true. Yeah. Jai Hind. See you. Take care. Have fun. Bye.